Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 2 here on Snowdrop Tundra, hunting us a Cram-O-Matic for the Summer Festival, and I have a very information-packed episode for you today. We are going to get into how to use the team analysis screen because I've had a few people ask and want to kind of get a walkthrough of how to use it and what they should be looking at, so we're going to go through that a little bit later. But for now, we're going to start off. We're going to go ahead and knock all this stuff out of the way. We, of course, are going to get 11,692 sneaky snack and 8,700 of it from our wall rain. I almost called him a Celio. We're also going to get a small ingredient ticket, and we didn't see it, but our Snover is now level 25, so ingredient finder unlocked on that as well. And then we're going to pick up 100 sleep points, which puts us at 5,797 total sleep points. And then for our daily lottery, we're going to grab, hopefully some biscuits would be nice. 3 Poke Biscuits would be fantastic. You know what? I'll take one. I'll take just the one. If I could click on the back button, that'd be even better. Come on now. Get it together. But all right, let's jump into this sleep report. And to see what we're going to get, our sleep type, not really all that important. We are going to get the pseudo balanced sleep, of course, because it's an event. So anything and everything could show up, but we do have the increased spawns for the flying types. So with any luck, Delibird will show up. That would be fantastic. Yeah, definitely not getting dozing today. 5% dozing, 48% snoozing, and 47% slumbering. Probably a slumbering sleep, I bet. Yep, that seems to be the way that it's been going lately. We actually got a pretty decent amount of strength just on the first day, so we should have like 15. Yeah, about 14.6 million almost. So not too bad. A lot better than last week, that's for sure. Not too many spawns though, but it's all right. We don't need a ton of spawns. We just need the one we want to show up. I see something down there that is new. Right there on that bottom left, I'm sure everybody can see. Oh, okay, so we got Psyduck, Swablu, Slowbro, and Celio. Not bad. And then, of course, I did use the Cram-O-Matic incense, so we got this guy right here. Got to use that Cram-O-Matic incense right off the bat just to get one. I was hoping for a shiny, but no luck. It is the 1-star sleep. That is a goofy picture. All right. That is a long dex entry, too.
This Pokemon instinctively swallows everything whole and also has a poor memory. On very rare occasions, it goes to sleep with prey too large to swallow still stuck in its throat, but no one knows why, because even Cram-O-Matic itself has forgotten the reason.
Cram-O-Matic's just a silly boy. All right, so we did get something else new. What did we get? Ooh, Mareep. Uh-huh. Blinking tail. So that's not what I thought it was going to be called with it rocking back and forth. Thought maybe rocking sleep or rolling sleep or something, but I was not expecting blinking tail. And that is the last Mareep sleep style that we needed. All done and dusted. All right. Well, no Delibird, but at least we got the Cram-O-Matic, so we could try to catch that. Hopefully it's hungry. Wrong direction. Also the wrong direction. Go to the Cram-O-Matic. No, the other bird. The other bird. Oh. Oh, man. That's kind of annoying. I really needed that Cram-O-Matic to be hungry. Really. 2/3 of the Pokemon that show up today are hungry, and the one that I want to be hungry is not one of them. A 2 in 6 chance to not be one of the ones I want, and of course I hit that lottery. I hit the unlucky lottery. Well, super unfortunate. What do I even do here? This is frustrating. I don't need a Swablu. I have 2 good ones and also a good Altaria. I have a very good Psyduck. Don't need that. I do need a better Walrein, but I want a Spheal instead of a Celio. Mareep, I have a really good Ampharos. I don't need it. Of course, all of the hungry ones I don't need too. You know what? Whatever. It is what it is. It's unfortunate. It's a very bad scenario, but I'm not even going to take the Cram-O-Matic home today. Going to feed it what I can, though. See if we get lucky with any big or mega hits. There's a big hit. I didn't see the little heart shaking animation, but I'll take a big hit. Awful, of course. Awful? That was awful. Let's see. Yeah, none of this is just really all that great. You know what? Part of me wanted to feed at least one of these hungry Pokemon a biscuit just to try to get the critical capture. Basilio's the only one that would make sense. And even then, like I said, I want a Spheal. I don't want a Celio. Because I want the evolution. But does it matter, actually? It may not matter. What does the evolution get me? 5 extra berry slot, or 5 extra inventory. And a level up on a charged strength main skill. You know what? It doesn't matter. We're going to feed him 1. We're going to feed him 1 and we're going to see what happens. Another big hit. I did not see the heart shaking animation. Very weird. I mean, I don't know why I said a big hit. He was hungry. Of course, it was going to be ×3. I was looking for a critical hit. But I still didn't see the animation. It's very strange. Anyway, well, today's sleep research was a bust. But at least we saw the Cram-O-Matic, I guess. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We'll send out some Cram-O-Matic candy. Try to help people get stocked up pretty early on. And then as far as Dream Shards go, actually more than I expected. 2,600, 2,700 Dream Shards. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the other stuff. Hopefully it'll be a little more interesting for us. Any new news? No new news. I think tomorrow. I feel like tomorrow we're going to have some news. And then for our community reports, we got 46 of them. Very nice. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 that doubled up. Very nice. A little over a third. Can't beat that. No level ups today. But we can now get into the meat and potatoes of everything. It's no skill trigger there and a ton of cocoa. No milk at all. Very surprising. Skill trigger would be nice. Boop. Nice. Very good. That almost always means we're gonna have a good day. Although it didn't start very good though. No skill trigger there. I don't know why I clicked on you. I've left your pack full on purpose, so no skill triggers from you. I do want to feed breakfast first and then collect from the Gardevoir. Just to maximize the amount of energy we're going to get if it has a skill trigger, which I don't know if it's going to. Let's do a couple herbs. That'll be fine. An extra tasty would be nice. That would really make me feel better about today. Hey, there we go. I feel better about today already. Very nice. 82,998. Yeah, we're definitely going to be crushing the ranks this week. Definitely not going to be Ultra 5, which I figured out why it said Ultra 5, and it turns out that was a goof on my part, but we'll cover that here in a bit. Slight goof. It happens. All right. +1 energy for everybody. That put us at, what was that, grade 5? I didn't see it. Grade 5. Nice. Very nice. Got some more Dream Shards, which is good because we're about to use some. Okay. And a skill trigger. Very good. Very good. So everybody should be above 100 energy now, especially Victory Bell. Especially Victory Bell. Let's see. Let's just go check and see how we're doing. All green. All green is good. Exactly 100, exactly 100, 121, 100. Also level 25. There we go. Ingredient finder. Nice. Could be, you know what, while we're here, let's go ahead. Let's see what this would mean if we did it. Could be a good opportunity to do a thing Actually is a good opportunity for me to show off. Sometimes it's good to just come in here and plug in skills that your Pokemon doesn't necessarily have, just to see what it's going to look like if you do. So in this case, what if I were to give it a subskill seed and get Ingredient Finder M at level 25 instead of S? That changes, what is this? Ingredient 81 was the PR before. And that bumps this up to significantly higher. At least a 90. Let's see, the other subskills. Skill Trigger's not going to help that much. It might drop it down a little bit. Oh, not as much as I thought. Only to 89. And then Helping Bonus is going to be way high. So yeah, this is going to be like PR 92 or something, 93. It's going to be a very good one if we were to do this subskill seed. How many do I have? Only 3. Ooh. Don't know if I want to do that just yet. Maybe. But let's see. Level 25. What are we looking at? Okay, it won't tell me here. I was hoping it would tell me how many eggs per day I would expect to get, but I think that's another calculation I need to do. Ingredient count B. Oh, well, it wouldn't tell me eggs anyway, because I don't get eggs till level 30. But I think I'd have to do ingredient count B to tell the calculator that I want to look at eggs specifically and go from there. But I don't want to start another calculation while this one's running, because if you do, sometimes it messes it up. 92, that's what I figured. Okay, so if we used a subskill seed on this, it would jump it from 81 to 92. That's actually a pretty decent jump, but the question is more, what does it look like in terms of the actual count of ingredients? We know it was, what was it, like 30, if I remember correctly, as an Abomasnow before. I did ingredient count B, yeah, okay, good. Which doesn't start until 30, which does make sense. 98. Ooh. Of course, it drops at 60 when we get tomatoes again, which is unfortunate. But as a Snover, 17.64. Probably should have done this as an Abomasnow. That'd be smart. That would be smart. If I were smart, that's what I would do. Let's go ahead and... It is going to let me do it again, though, so that's good. Seems like it just completely canceled out the other calculation, which is good. Surprisingly, only 50. Why? Oh, because it somehow took my egg off. That's super weird. Ingredient count B. And let's see. Let's see if it crashes it. Hopefully it stays and works fine. Ingredient count B, which is eggs. Okay. Way better. Still only 34 though. 34.82. So that doesn't actually make a huge difference, because I think it was 30 or 31 when we looked at it the other day when we caught it. And 34.82 is not that much. That's a production comparison question, so we'll figure that out. But this is interesting. It is an interesting idea. So we're not going to do it yet. And then Gardevoir, last one, I didn't check your energy. Also 100. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to let that keep running while we do what we're going to do here in a moment, because we have one last, well, no, a couple things that we need to get out of the way, and then we can talk about the team analysis screen and go through how to use that, because it is a very helpful tool. First and foremost, I don't think we're getting any other missions complete today, so let's go ahead and collect those. Well, didn't get the Cram-O-Matic missions done, but that's all right. We did get to grade 2, so we're going to get 1,430 Dream Shards. All right, so now let's do the Candy Cram-O-Matic. The results from all the comments that I got yesterday on the Cram-O-Matic made it seem like it's somewhere between 30 and 50% of people were getting the candies that they put in. But keep in mind, none of this is conclusive by any means. We still need a lot more data to draw any reasonable conclusions. Quick update, ingredient count B for Abomasnow with the subskill seed is only a PR of 80. And at level 60, oh, that's level 30. Level 60. Drops down to 24, which does make sense because we get tomatoes again. But interesting aside. All right, let's get back to what we were doing. Like I said, can't draw any real conclusions from the little bit of data that we've got. Even with all the data from the comments, it's not enough to draw a realistic conclusion. It's just, hey, this is what we're finding so far on an individual anecdotal basis. So keep that in mind that these are not necessarily the results that you're going to get, especially the results I got yesterday with 2 great success. That is very unlikely. I just got extremely lucky with that. But it does seem like there's a somewhat decent chance of getting the candy you put in. So today we're going to do a different experiment. We're going to throw in... I'm going to keep the Pikachu candy, because I feel like with all the different kinds of Pikachus, those will actually be kind of useful later on. With all the different hats that have different specialties, because when we got the Santa hat Pikachu, it actually had a different specialty from the regular Pikachu. So they may be worthwhile to level some up later, depending on what they decide to put in the game. So I'm going to use Wobbuffet candy, all 40, and that's going to give us... Let's see. We got an extra tasty, so I doubt we're going to get a great success here today. It did seem like a lot of people did not get great success, but I did get psychic type candy. So with 40 candies, it seems to give me, more often than not, it seems like I get what I put in so far, if I do all 40 of one type. So let's see, do we get psychic again? Or does this put us at 50-50 on what I put in? Psychic again. Okay. Okay. So okay. Let's run an interesting experiment then. Let's do 20 psychic candies. 20 psychic. No. Let's do 30. It's 30 Wobbuffet, 10 Gulpin. Is that gonna work? No. Let me think. How do I want to do this? I don't think that's what I wanted to do. No. Let's do 2020. And let's see. Do I get one or the other? Or do I get a random type? Because if I get a random type, great success. Poison type. Okay. So I got one of the 2 that I put in. Okay. So... Well, I don't know if that actually helped me form any more of an opinion than I already had or not. Based on the comments I've seen, not only in yesterday's video, but also in the Discord and on Facebook groups, I feel like the odds of getting the candy that you put in is not very high, and I feel like the results that I'm getting are very non-representative of the norm. I feel like I've just gotten very lucky in the terms of the great success rate that I've had, and also the amount of times that I've gotten the candy type that I put in. Because so far, I've used it 7 times, and only 1 out of the 7 has been a different type than the candy I put in. So, I'm gonna use it one more time. I'm gonna spin the dream shards for the science. For the science, we spin the shards. We put in 40 Pseudo-Wudo candy. Do I get a rock type? If I get a rock type, then I think that's just more evidence that I'm getting very lucky. Got a rock type. So either I'm getting very lucky, or putting in 40 of one type gives you significantly higher odds to get the type of candy you put in. I'm gonna lean towards the fact that I'm getting lucky. Like I said, based on everything that I've seen that other people have reported, I feel like I'm getting lucky and not... This isn't the norm that you should expect. Huh. I don't know what to make of this. Also, don't use your dream shards like I'm doing. Don't do this 4 times a day. That last one is so expensive. If it was a guaranteed great success, maybe it would be worth it, but it's not a guaranteed great success. So don't do it, because this is a huge waste of dream shards. I'm only doing it for science. That's it. And I'm probably going to regret it later whenever I need to use some dream shards to level something up or increase my pot space. Probably here in July when we get the 1 year anniversary. So don't do this unless you just have a huge overabundance of dream shards. It is a very bad use of dream shards. But for the science, I don't know what to think of this. Again, we just don't have enough data to really draw a definitive conclusion. So take my results into account, but don't let them be the only thing you look at when you decide what you want to do in terms of how many candies and how you want to use those candies to put in. The only thing I can say is just use your junk candies and turn those into, hopefully, something that's going to be more useful. Yeah, the Candy Cram-O-Matic, I like this feature. I wish it was going to stick around longer. I kind of don't like that we're going to get rid of it and probably not see it for a long time. But I like it. It's an interesting feature. I would like to see it come back every couple of months. That would be really nice. But yeah, that's a weird one. Anyway, that's my Candy Cram-O-Matic results for today. But now, for what I promised you guys, we are going to talk about team analysis and how to use it. Now, of course, I had this page pulled up yesterday in yesterday's video, and my results were incorrect. They showed Ultra 5, and I thought that was very low. I was like, oh, there's no way it's going to be Ultra 5. I'm pretty confident we're going to get to Master 4. Well, turns out I goofed. And someone in the comments pointed this out, that I had my cooking settings incorrect. And they were mostly correct. I did have them incorrect, but what I did is I had them turned off completely. So I didn't have it set to the wrong dish, I just had it turned off completely. So you can see, since I have cooking turned off completely, it's assuming I'm not making any meals all week, and I'm going to get to Ultra 5 if I did nothing, other than just let them collect their strength and berries. However, if we click on this little gear icon, on the cooking tab, click on curries and stews, and then click this drop-down menu, I already have Dream Eater Butter Curry set for all of my meals. But we can select Dream Eater Butter Curry. And then now that we have turned curries and stews on and cooking on, you can see it updated, this little symbol right here. And now Master 7 is the prediction for this week. Another thing that people pointed out was that I may not have had the event bonuses turned on. I did in fact have them turned on. They just didn't take account because I had cooking turned off. So if you come into your settings and go to event bonus and you set it to the default, the website will automatically change the default numbers based on the events. So you should not ever have to change them again. I believe the default is on base when you first come here. And so this will always be whatever the base rate is. It will ignore any event multiplier. So you want to make sure that you come in and turn on default for everything so that it automatically changes when the events start. You can also use this page to set up some experiments later on. Say you want to experiment and figure out, oh, well, you know, Suicune event's coming around. If we had the same thing where water types get an extra ingredient every time they collect something, let me go ahead and click custom, click water type, and ingredient count +1. And you can do experiments that way. You can do that with a lot of different stuff. You can set custom multipliers for any kind of experiments you want to run, but that's a little bit more advanced. We'll get into that a little bit later on. For now, I just want you to be aware that this menu is here, and go ahead and set all of yours to default. That is the best way to go forward. Also, cooking is a page you're going to come back to quite often, so we're going to make sure we have this one set up a little bit later as well. All right, so this is my team for this week. Master 7 is the prediction, but that's also assuming that we're ending on Tuesday. We're not. We're ending on Monday, and we want to plug in our current strength is 246,015. So when we plug that in, Master 7 is still the current prediction. So pretty accurate there. Now we'll see if by the end of the week we actually hit Master 7, which is 1.15 million. I think we can, especially with the extra tasty that we've gotten. We got extra tasty breakfast, I believe, on Monday, and then or yesterday, and then extra tasty breakfast today. Or am I might be being silly. I don't know when I got that other extra tasty, but I know I got one today. So we could be a lot farther than Master 7, but this is just the general prediction. So if we want to use the team analysis page. Oh, one last thing before we move on. Keep in mind, a lot of these extra stats are going to be locked behind premium. You should still be able to get to the team analysis page, but you just won't see as much detailed information as I do, because I do have the premium subscription courtesy of the Rain On team. So keep that in mind. You won't see everything that I see, but you will see enough information to get an idea of what you're looking at, and you will still see these predictions here at the bottom. So let's go ahead and move on. This is what the page will look like the first time you get to it. You can see here that it's showing this little orange circle showing that I have curries for the week, and it's also showing the Dream Eater butter curry for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Then those take 53 ingredients per recipe or per dish. So if we click this drop down, we can have it set to default, which is what I have in my cooking settings here in the settings menu. For some reason it was turned to X again. I don't know why. Anyway, curries and stews, orange, salads will be yellow, desserts will be green. So that's what this little colored circle means. Also, if we want, we can hit override and we can change all of these settings here, and this will ignore the settings that we've selected in this screen here. I typically just stick with this one just to make it easy and keep things all in one place across the entire website, because I feel like if I start changing things here, but then I change things somewhere else, that it could end up getting confusing, and then I have to remember to change all this too. For me, it's just a lot easier to remember that everything's in one place and change it as need be in this one place. But if you want to keep everything confined to just the team analysis, you can go ahead and do that here. You can set your sleep schedule. You can set the skill recovery to optimistic or conservative. You can set your cooking schedule when you generally make your meals. You can set always max energy if you want to run that experiment. You can set the default to always full pack for berry specialists. So Wall Rain in my example this week, you can turn on your good camp ticket here. You can set your collection frequency in seconds, which is how often you actually log into the game and collect from your team. You can set your cooking settings, your pot capacity, make sure you have this set correctly. I assume a bottomless pot because often I use Flareon to get beyond the 57. So that's why I always plug in bottomless pot here. And then I never mess with these. You may want to if that's something that would be helpful for you. Which is why my actual capacity shows infinite, because I have it set to bottomless. If I turn that off, you can see actual capacity is 57, but I have it set to bottomless. You can also change the dishes you're going to make. Make sure when you run this that you go in and you change the dish that you are making for the week. This is going to be very beneficial moving forward whenever you run a team analysis, so make sure you do that. Okay, so all of the override stuff out of the way. Again, this is what it will look like by default. Nothing selected. Somehow still getting to basic 4. Don't know how. I have nothing selected, but I guess cooking maybe. Okay, so when you're here, the first thing you're going to do after you get all of these options selected, you're going to pick the island that you're on. For me, we're on Snowdrop, but just for fun, let's assume that I'm on Cyan Beach. One last thing. One other thing you do need to double check. Make sure your map bonuses are correct too. Go to this map bonus menu or screen on the settings menu. Make sure you have them correct, because those will also be very beneficial moving forward. I update these every week whenever I get my weekly summary, so these are always correct for me, but make sure they're correct for you. So we're on Cyan Beach. It's already taking into account my map bonus. I don't ever mess with the level settings, ever. The advanced options I never mess with other than to pick daily or weekly when I want, depending on what I want to see. And I'll show what that does a little bit later once we get a team plugged in. But I never mess with this, but be aware that it's here in case it's something that could be useful for you. I just never mess with it. Honestly, I can clear this and not worry about it. So let's go ahead and clear that. Okay, so basically what you want to do is if you have put your Pokemon into your box, which is this section right over here where it says Pokemon box, you can plug them in there, or like you often see me do where I save the Pokemon. I click this box right here and I type in the Pokemon's level and information and then hit this little button to save it. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to save it again, but this is how you put them in your box. So you can select this button to pick any Pokemon that you have stored in your box, or you can hit this button to create a brand new Pokemon. Let's see, we're on Cyan Beach, so let's say we have a Feraligatr, and hypothetically, I just want to plug in everything that's super good because I have just caught the perfect Feraligatr. It could not be any better, and that's what we're gonna do. What else? What else would be good for a Feraligatr? You know, skill trigger. Why not? I've caught the perfect Feraligatr. It is now level 30, and I've evolved it twice. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and never collect its inventory. I'm just gonna let it sneaky snack all throughout the week. I'm never gonna collect from it. So we're gonna say that that I always leave its pack full by selecting this button. That if you hit default, it will go to the option you selected in the override menu where you could say to always have a full pack for Berry Specialist. So if you click default, it will go to that one. I like to manually control it because some I do leave full, some I don't. But for this Feraligatr, we're going to assume that I leave it full all the time and I never collect from it. And then let's see, what are we going to make this week? We're going to make... You know what? We're going to make desserts and drinks. Let's just assume this is the Suicune event. So we're going to make desserts and drinks. And then I have a Blastoise that's really good. That's going to help me make desserts and drinks. And we're also going to make sure that we don't have Explosion Popcorn because we're making desserts and drinks. We want to make, what is this? Jigglypuff's Fruity Flan is a pretty good one. But we're going to try to make the Flower Gift Macarons. So that's going to be our dessert that we're going to make. And that means that we also need, what else was there for Flower Gift Macarons? Eggs and honey. So now we're going to throw our brand new Abomasnow on the team, which is not an Abomasnow yet, but we're going to select it. And we're going to say, hey, we got it to level 30. We evolved it. So we're going to select Abomasnow right here, level 30. We're also going to say, just for funsies, that we did use that subskill seed. And we evolved it once. And we're going to say 1 subskill seed there, just to have it all tracked perfectly. And we also need honey. So we're going to grab our... Ooh, you know what? Let's sort by honey. Who's going to be our best bet for honey? We don't have a very good one. Let's just say Heracross, just for the funsies right now. And let's say we got Heracross to level 50, also for the funsies. Just to get that helping bonus kicked in, and ingredient finder. And then, we don't have the pot space for the Flower Gift Macarons, but we're close. What we need is our Flareon is definitely going to have to be on the team. Let's grab our Flareon. And it's already level 50. But I don't think that's enough. We need one more level, so we'll say that we did one more level to get it to level 5. That will give us enough to be able to make the Flower Gift Macarons with 1 skill trigger per meal. Cool. So now we've got our team plugged in. Hypothetically, let's say we wanted to save this team. You can click this button right here, and it will allow you to save your team. You can see it's already plugged in here on Curry Snow. I'm not going to save it right now because I don't want to overwrite what I have. And so you can save your teams here. You can see my other teams that I've had saved in the past. You can add a new team if you want to. You can duplicate this team if you want to run an experiment with it, but not affect the main team, which is what I should have done, to be honest with you. But I goofed. It's all right. It's not that big a deal. And then once you have your team saved for the week, if you want to be able to come back to this page throughout the week and not have to plug all this information back in, you can hit this button right here next to the autosave feature, or you can turn autosave on and it will automatically save every time you make a change. But you can click this button right here, and then every time I come back to this page, it will have this exact same team with these exact same stats, even though I don't have this one in my box. This one is not that level, nor is it an Abomasnow. Same with this one, not that level. It will still save them so that I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so we've got our team plugged in. We can already see at the bottom, looks like we're going to get Master 9 for Cyan Beach. Keep in mind, I didn't plug in the event bonuses. We don't know what they're going to be for Suicune. I'm just using the Suicune event as my basis for building a team, not necessarily trying to be exactly accurate, just to show how this works. So we've got the team built. We can see that we're probably going to be Master 9. We can see the amount of ingredients that we can expect to bring in. And the reason you're seeing these like 1.79 of ingredients that we don't actually collect. It's just assuming that we're going to pick up a couple of these through ingredient magnets, specifically from Blastoise. And I think Heracross also has ingredient magnet, if I remember correctly, but we'll see that here in a second. So it's assuming that we're getting that. We can see it's on override. Let me set it back to default. That's the one we want. So now it's more accurate because we do want it to be default to actually take into account the dishes we're making. Is that the flower? Yeah, it is. Why does it say 39? Oh, it's level 39. My apologies. Earlier I said it was the amount of ingredients it took. It's actually the level that you have it at. That was my mistake. Okay. I'm sure somebody's already screamed at me in the comments. Okay, so we can see all this. This is the basic stuff. You don't really need to go into anything else if you don't want to. This will just give you an idea of what you're looking at by the end of the week, what your rank is likely to be. However, if you do want to see more, you can click the expand all option, or if you want to do it individually, you can click on them individually. It will only show me Abomasnow if I click on Abomasnow, but if I want to see all of this information for every Pokemon, expand all, and this shows me detailed information for every Pokemon. Shows me their frequency, their collection frequency, and I believe this is at max energy, what their collection frequency is going to be. I'm not sure if, I don't think it's average. I think this is just their max. It shows some information about their energy throughout the day, their inventory, their amount of berries. Really, this information here is the most important. It's going to show me the amount of berries that I should collect from Feraligatr throughout the day with the amount of strength that those berries are going to bring in. We do see the total strength up here, which is good to know, but if you want to see how it breaks down, it doesn't really show us a breakdown for Feraligatr because we're assuming his pack is full, but this is what we're going to get from Feraligatr at level 30 in berries, and that's his total strength. If we turn this off, you can see his total strength does change. The amount of berries he brings in changes. The amount of strength that gives him changes. And we get a little bit of sausage and some extra strength from that sausage. Plus, we get a little bit of strength from his main skill. So this is stuff we lose out on if we leave his pack full, which is why I say it's up to you to determine if you want to leave the pack full or not. With Walrein this week, I'm leaving his pack full because his skill trigger rate is so low that I'm not really going to get anything more off of it, and I feel like it's more beneficial to get more berries. So that's why I'm not collecting from Walrein, but keep in mind, it's up to you to determine for each Pokemon if it is beneficial to collect from them and try to get the skill trigger, or if it's more beneficial to collect from the berries. But this is how it all breaks down. We can go ahead and turn full pack back on because we're just going to leave his pack full. Blastoise, we can see we get a ton of strength from Blastoise, and it breaks down just like this. So that's going to be the same for every Pokemon. You can also see, I'm not sure, this may be locked behind premium, I'm not 100% sure, but you can see the amount of times per day you can expect a skill trigger. So Blastoise less than 1 time a day, and that checks out. It's usually about how it goes. I get lucky if it's once a day. Abomasnow, just shy of 2 times a day, so on and so forth. So we can use this to plan out, hey, Flareon should get 4 times a day, and we need him to do once per meal, so we should be fine. So that's why it's good to know these things. But that's pretty much how you use the team analysis page. If you want to close it, you can just collapse all, or if you just want to close one and kind of clean it up, like, okay, I'm done reading Abomasnow, let me clean this up a little bit. Okay, I'm done with Heracross, you can click on them as well. And then this button, you want to be careful about hitting this button, because as far as I know, there's no undo from hitting this button, and if you've changed quite a bit, if you hit this button and you want to go back, you have to change it all again. So that's why I recommend just saving another team and experimenting with that team so you don't affect the other one. But if you hit this button, you'll see that my Abomasnow should go back to a Snover and back to level 13. Yep. Heracross is also back to level 21. Sync all Pokemon. What that does is it resyncs their stats with the Pokemon that you have saved in the box. So be careful when you hit that button, because it may mess up what you're trying to experiment with. But that is pretty much the basics of how to use the team analysis page. I know it sounds like a lot, but once you get in here and you start using it quite frequently, you're going to get very familiar with it very quickly. It's really easy to figure out once you get going. The hardest thing, like I said, is when you do the override. And that's why I don't mess with this. Like I said, I never do override. I always do default, and I change my settings here. For me, it's easier, but whatever's easiest for you and makes it better for you to use the site and the team analysis page, go ahead and run with that. But 100% up to you. Just make sure, if you're going to use this one, make sure you have your cooking set the way you want whenever you go in. I typically leave it to none, because when I rate a Pokemon, I don't want the rating to be affected by the meals that I'm making. But you do need to make sure, it's important that you get your map bonuses plugged into the settings. Make sure you have that. I'm on Snowdrop this week, so I'm going to put that there. Or I could turn it off by clicking Snowdrop again. I think I'm going to turn it off for now. And then make sure that your event bonuses are all set to default, so that this changes as the events show up. Outside of that, that's kind of the important basics of everything. And then, yeah, you can see I can switch back. Curry Snow is what I have saved. So if I save this as I should, and then come back here, refresh the page. That's what I need to do. Refresh the page. It goes back to my default Curry Snow team. So that's what we want to do. That's how we use the team analysis page. It's a very helpful tool, especially for planning for the future. I would say almost exclusively planning for the future, because you can use it to do things like figure out what team you want to run for Suicune. That's what I did for the Entei event. I figured out about what I wanted to do for the Entei event, found out that I wanted to do Curries because that was more in line with fire-type Pokemon. This time around, desserts seem to be more in line with water types, especially with the Blastoise, because I think the Blastoise is going to be a huge part of our team for Suicune. But this way you can plan for future events, for future weeks. It doesn't even have to be an event, honestly. It could just be like, hey, I want to figure out what I want to do next week. You can figure that out. So that is the team analysis page. That's how to use it. A long-winded, detailed, hopefully very informative little expose on the team analysis. One thing I did forget to mention, this is going to be your berry breakdown for the week. I almost never look at these, really, unless I'm just trying to make sure that I'm going to get enough to make my meals. That's really it. Oh, the one thing I did say that I was going to tell you. Advanced options. You can see here, these are the daily amounts. So daily, I should get 20,448 strength from Walrein. If I want to see what I'm going to get for the entire week, just quick weekly. Wow. Click weekly, and it will show you the amount of strength that you should get over the course of 7 days. So that's a good feature. I don't use it all that often, but I do use it every now and then just to see at a glance. But mostly I use the daily feature. To me, it's a little more important. I find it easier to plan for the day than the week. You may find it easier to plan for the week than the day. But like I said, just wanted to make sure that you were aware that it's here. I never use these options. I'm sure some people out there do. If you do use them, go ahead and drop some helpful tips in the comments for everybody that's learning how to use the team analysis page. Let's all work together, bring all our tips and tricks together, and hopefully all do better at our sleep research. But yeah, that is gonna be it for the tutorial on the team analysis. Hopefully you found it informative. Thank you for watching the video. It's been a long video. I am looking at the clock now. Very, very long video. So definitely making up for that short video a few days ago. I need something to drink. My throat is yelling at me right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and run. Make sure if you found this tutorial informative, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there in the description, there is a link to the Discord where you can come and join us and hang out with a bunch of cool people. There's a lot of cool folks over there. So come join us and hang out. Oh man, thank you for watching the video. Y'all have a good night. And until next time, later dudes.